Hello YouTube, I'm here with the second video. Look at me go. So today we're playing with Prismacolors. So in my 20 years of living, I have never used Prismacolor pencils. I was lucky to have a family friend this year for Christmas give me Prisma, and I'm so thankful to them. I love them so much, and since I've never been able to afford them, it makes me really happy to get some for Christmas. So here is a drawing of the character you would have seen from the previous video. She's already outlined and drawn and whatnot. So since I've never used Prisma, the only other color pencils I've used is like Rose Art and Crayola, and I'm just gonna say I hate Rose Art. Everyone hates Rose Art that I know. Rose Art just really needs to die and be gone from this world. But besides Rose Art, I really like Crayola. I still use it, and I'll still continue to use it. And the reason for that is because it's inexpensive. It's very pigmented, and it's very blendable. It's a really good inexpensive brand to use, especially when you're a beginner and trying to figure out what kind of drawing style you're going for. And so working with the Prisma is kind of similar, but it is very different. It's a lot more pigmented. It's a lot more blendable. It's super just nice and smooth compared to any other brand I've used. And I'm liking it because I'm not having to push down really hard on the pencil in order to get nice pigment. And one thing I noticed, especially with the black, is that it's a lot more pigmented than any other black that I've used, even though it's still kind of blotchy, but I have something to help fix that issue. So I really noticed especially with the pink when I was going and trying to doing the blushing, it is very pigmented, and not only that, it's super blendable. I was able to go over like the peachy tone I did for the skin tone super easily, and it just gave it a nice pretty blush look to it. I got a few other things that's Prisma related during Christmas. I'll be showing you towards the end of the video. But I was wondering, did you guys get any things for Christmas that you really liked, especially some art things? Comment below. I'm really sorry that the sketchbook's not really centered and some of the stuff is off camera and whatnot. I'm still trying to learn exactly how to position the camera and what should be in relation to the camera, so that way I know where I'm supposed to be in drawing. It wasn't until like halfway through doing this video when I was filming that I kind of just looked at the screen and I was like, huh, that's not where I'm supposed to be. And actually then put forth the effort to try to make sure it stayed in view and more in center. I commonly like to add different layers of different colors on top of each other to create different colors, as well as blending with Crayola, and you can see I'm doing the same thing here when I'm trying to shade in the hair, and it's working out really well. And I just got to be careful not to put too much pigment on first, and to keep building up those layers to help build up the pigment as well. so that way I have actually room on the paper and so the other pigment will stick. So when working with the red, I noticed that you can see it seems a little bit more blotchy, and it could be just with more heavy pigments you have to do a little bit more blending. And I actually do have a colorless blending pencil I'll be using to help correct that. But it's on a smooth paper, but not like a super smooth paper. So that's also probably why it's not amazingly. And I'm also not pushing down so hard, so that it's still pretty good pigmentation for very lightly being on. It's not like a pastel, an oil pastel, or a chalk pastel where it just comes off and breaks so super easily. You have to give it a little bit more give. You can see now that I'm filling in the black, you can see what I can talk about the splotchiness. And this is pretty common for me to go with like black color pencils. They tend to be more gray just because it's so hard to get super pigmentation. When I always run out of the black first because I always push down so hard to get as much pigmentation as possible so it would break or it just used up really quickly. And because, of course, in junior high, I thought I was super edgy and so cool, so everything I used was just black, purple, and red. So those always used to be my shortest color pencils. So, if you're wondering why this character has like ears and a tail, it's because I really like drawing characters with ears and tails since it exposes more expression and emotion to it and gives a different mood to the character as a whole with a simple of movement of the ears and tail. If you're wondering what kind of ears and tail, it's fox. And the reason why is because I just really like foxes. Okay, here she is, all done and colored. And now I'm about to go in with a Prismacolor blending pencil. It's in the number PC1077, so if you guys are interested in that. When I first saw the pencil, I sharpened it, and the lead part is kind of this milky white. And when I was coloring with it and blending things out, it felt super, super waxy. Now you can notice how big of a color difference it is before and after using the blending pencil. And I'm using the blending pencil how I thought it was supposed to be used, and I looked it up after I did this film this video, and it turns out I was pretty correct on it. Though when I did look up, I wasn't coloring with the color pencils correctly. Apparently when I'm doing solid colors, I should have done circular motions, small circles, so it can build up the pigment and be a bit more vibrant and just kind of solid. I was going back after blending it on the black and putting more black on top of it with color pencil, so I could put some more shading in, and it really helped with the blending effect, especially going back over with the pencil. One thing that you should recognize is that when you're using the pencil, some of the pigment is going to get on the pencil, but it doesn't ruin it. All you can do is go to a corner sketchbook and just color it a little bit, and then the pigment comes off. There she is, all done with the colorless color pencil, and I'm about to do something fun with one of the things I got, which is a Prismacolor blending marker. As you can see, there are 2 ends to it. There's a tiny little end, and then there's also a big fat end as well. And when I looked up how to use this marker, because I made sure to look up this one first so I didn't accidentally ruin it, you just kind of put it onto the color pencil where you colored with the color pencil, and then you rub it on the back of your sketchbook, the rougher, more cardboard-like side. And you just kind of rub all the pigment off so that way you don't ruin it. And you run it on until it becomes clear. And so what I did is I ran it on that, and then I went on to the sketchbook, and when the sketchbook was clear, it's fine. Now, one thing I noticed with the fat end when I was doing the red and the black is the pigment, it seemed like the pigment stayed on, but they ran clear once I was done cleaning it. And I even tested it now a couple of days later, and it's running clear and it's fine. So I'm glad I didn't ruin it. One thing I did notice was with the marker, because I was probably going over the color's pencil, the waxiness of it, there really was no difference. So I'll probably end up trying it again without using the colorless pencil and kind of see where that gets me. So, like I said, I got a few other things for Christmas. One of those was a eraser and a this black ebony pencil, which I guess is used for shading. And then I got a kneaded eraser, which I'll be happy to use. They're great. And then I also got this pencil holder, which is my favorite because when my pencils get tiny, I'll be able to hold them. Thank you guys so much for watching and giving me a second chance at this, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, and if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Have you guys noticed something new? I put in music! I figured out how to edit music in here. I told you I'm learning. I promise. Now I just gotta make sure that I'm putting everything in view of the camera.